GatorNationals in Gainesville, Florida, where it's been raining for a few days. It's a giant mud hole, but we're gonna go in and hang out with Clay Millican. Hopefully they'll get some racing in today. It's practice day today, or qualifying day today. I'm not sure what all is gonna happen, but we're gonna take you in, get some up close action on a top fuel dragster capable of 330 plus miles an hour in the 1,000 foot. It's pretty amazing when you really think about it, but I'm excited. I've never been able to really get up close and personal with a top fuel dragster. We're gonna go make it happen. Let's go inside and see what happens. All right, everybody. Well, we've made it inside the track where there's freaking people everywhere. Good turnout for 2 days of rain delay so far. But we're hanging out in Clay's pits. He's actually in a meeting, but we're gonna go check this top fuel car out here in just a second. And you know, these are like the pinnacle of the drag racing stuff that I do. Like, sure, they're just insane, out of control, but they're not. But we're gonna go over some statistics compared to Soccer Mom later in the video. Just some of the crazy, insane power that these things make. It's just crazy and insane. So I'm nerding out a little bit because I've kind of been a fan of Clay for a long time. It's kind of the underdog in a lot of ways, I guess you could say, because not with a huge funded team like, you know, the John Force Racing or some of the other big name teams that have been doing this forever, but he has been doing it for a long time and has quite a few wins under his belt. But small team, still have great performance. They were in the finals last week, so we got to get one more win this week. Hopefully we can be a part of that happening. So once he gets out of his meeting, we'll take you guys in to get some up close and personal details with a top fuel dragster. All right, so you guys know we're coming out here to hang out with Clay Millican. If you didn't know, Clay's got his own channel. Clay Millican is his YouTube name. Like, he's been doing some stuff for a little while, got a pretty good following. And like, I've known of Clay for a long time. I mean, he's a top fuel racer, and you know, for me, growing up, like, somebody you never thought you'd get to meet and hang out. And here we are, hanging out with Clay Millican. He's in there somewhere. I think the field, the camera is actually broader than what the little shows on the screen, so we'll still be all right. Yeah. But you guys go check out his channel, subscribe to it. You get tons of behind the scenes stuff when it comes to the top fuel cars. And I mean, I watch his channel and here I am nerding out with him at the racetrack. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. We're gonna be doing another one tomorrow for elimination rounds. So, you know, assuming we make the show, but stay tuned and we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, we have made it into the top fuel pits, and they're doing some work right now, getting ready for their first round of qualifying here in a little bit. They're trying to just get a good, clean A to B pass for the first pass, and then for the second run, look at all the data. Top fuel racers really love data. Look at all their data and figure out what they're going to make changes for the second pass. So see them over here going to town. I'm not going to get in their way, although maybe later I'll get to actually do something to help out. But we've got some room over here on the car where I think we might have room for a KSR sticker. So we'll let Clay get over there, and he's signing some autographs right now. But check out the bench full of cylinder heads over here. This stuff is cool. All right, I'm gonna nerd out some more and then talk to you guys again in a minute. Look at what we got going on here. Hey, cowboy. We're gonna have KSR stickers on a top fuel dragster. How cool is that? Hey, cowboy. Super cool. Well, we're gonna do this fighting the wind off camera, and then we'll be back here in a second. All right, that's just cool. They're getting ready to fire this thing up to warm it up for their first round of qualifying. I'm gonna go around to the back side of the car because the wind's blowing this way. I I really don't want a face full of nitro. It's a little tough on the old lungs. So you see everybody putting the gas masks on, right? I ain't got one. So I'm gonna make sure I stay away a little bit. But the nitro fumes are pretty intense. Like we got some kind of little problem we're chasing. All right, so as it turns out, basically the crank trigger that's on the front of the engine, there's a hub that goes with. That hub was floating enough, possibly either they had gotten some new parts they were using, different bolt maybe for a different crankshaft, and that hub is moving, and so it fires up and then it loses the crankshaft signal. So they're swapping that out now. And then we think we're gonna be in action, hopefully to still make the first round call. Clock's ticking. What's race cars like without a little bit of stress? But race cars are fun. Yeah, we keep telling ourselves that. Yeah, race cars are fun. Here comes downtown. All right, good news, but also a little bit of bad news. The guys are only going to get one qualifying shot. Normally they get 3, but because of all the weather delays and everything else that's been just delaying it, I mean, I don't even know what time it is here. Let's see. It's almost 3 o'clock. So normally at 3 o'clock, they would be preparing for their 3rd qualifying round. So, sounds like we're gonna get one qualifying shot. That's only the second pairs of, so that was only the second pair of cars that have been down the racetrack the entire weekend. Now they've got to figure out, with only one qualifying shot, there's 21 top fuel cars here. That means there's 5 going home. We don't want to be one of those 5. We're not going to be one of those 5. So it's kind of a tough deal for the crew chief and the tuner. They don't normally race in air like this. It's very, very few and far between that they get a chance to do any kind of testing in this air. Not only that, the track conditions You know, the cold track, it's been very wet. When it gets rained on like it does, all of the rubber leaves the track because of how cold the concrete gets. Whole lot of question marks to be able to make a good pass. Do you put a conservative run that you know or you expect will have a high percentage chance of going down the track? Or do you try and send it and go #1 qualifier? Lots and lots of stuff for the crew chief to think about. I'm glad I'm not the one making those decisions today. But we're gonna head up on the starting line with them. It'll be pretty exciting. That'll be a first for me to get to go up on the starting line. Good deal. See you guys back in a little bit. Clay, you ready to go?
I am ready. You probably noticed the ants are in my pants. I start getting fidgety, start getting wound up.
Yeah.
Don't help, it's a little cold. That makes me more fidgety. But as I told you off camera, first run I still get the butterflies. Been doing this for 20 plus years. The butterflies start coming in.
You're about to go 330 miles an hour.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. That's I think we're only going to get one qualifying run, so the pressure kind of goes up on everybody. And obviously we had a little issue with the thing starting and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, I videoed a little bit of it, but you know that, like I said a little bit in mine earlier in the video, sometimes it's the most simple things that'll throw you for a loop, and it turns out that's kind of what it was.
It was
something very simple.
Very simple. It's crazy, you know. So complicated some of the stuff is, but in this case it was just simple. Crank bolt was too long for the crank that we had in there, and the old crank triggers didn't line up, and she won't run. Yeah, you lose the sensor for the crankshaft. Nothing knows where anything's at, so it doesn't fire the sparks that light the fuel that make all the noise. So, well, we're getting ready to go up there and stomp on that loud pedal.
Stomp on the loud pedal, that's right. That's you have a really loud pedal. Like, you know, I like my turbo cars because they're kind of quiet, but like the dually, you know, is one level of loud. You guys can't feel it in the camera, obviously, but like you can be standing anywhere on the, even here where we're standing now, you guys can see the track way over there. When the fuel cars make a run, it literally shakes the ground. So I encourage you guys to go to an NHRA race at least once to experience it. It's freaking insanity. And he's in the seat.
I'm going to bet, so your shop's what, 7-8 miles from here?
Oh, we can totally hear it.
I was fixing to say, I bet you could.
Not today with it being windy,
yeah.
But on a quiet day, like if they're testing on Mondays and stuff, you totally hear it at the shop. So.
Again, just like Kevin said, I mean, if you've not been to one of these events, you owe it to yourself to go to one, because I don't care what you think is loud or what concussion is, you've not experienced it until you've seen nitro cars. They're unexplainable.
Yep, totally agree.
Yep.
Well, see you guys up on the starting line. We're going to be on the starting line for Clay's runs, and we're going all the way to the finals. Mark my words. So, you good with that?
Absolutely. Let's go do it.
Yeah. Cool. See you guys in a second. All right. Well, we're up here in the lanes. They're getting ready to go.
Jeffrey Chatterson on the left side. Pardon me. Matt Cummings on the left side. Moving about the last row. Matt Cummings on the left side.
Doing some double checking on the clutch. And if you didn't know, like the clutch and the clutch application timing, I'll have to verify this with Clay, but that is probably the most important part of the tune-up. The power's there, but the clutch has got to be timed with how good the track is. All that stuff factors into whether or not the car's going to go down the track without hitting. So if you don't give the car enough power, it'll hook the tire and then go into tire shake. If you give the car too much power, it'll spin them so hard that it smokes them. But if you give it just the right amount of power, it'll spin a little bit, hook up, and have to watch some slow motion top fuel stuff to see what I'm talking about. But maybe I'll be able to catch it on my video, but I'm not sure about that. Let's see what we got in just a minute.
What's happening up here?
That's what they, so you're going, right now I'm going to talk to Sean.
It's always the driver's responsibility to check his parachutes. Clay had to do a little bit of pedaling job, but he gathered her up. The car went into shake, he pedaled it, actually lifted the front end in the air, and it got to moving around out there on the track. But 405 is not a terrible run. Probably would have been something near the top of the field had it gone A to B, but pretty close to going A to B. Hopefully we'll get around 2 here because we may not be in just yet. But now comes time, they're gonna rip into the motor, see if anything's hurt, refresh everything. That's normal for these top fuel cars. They take the motors down to just about nothing between every run. They inspect all the rod bearings. Everything is checked to make sure that it's ready for the next round.
330 miles an hour for Doug and a big red line. Justin goes 372.
Looks like all the valves are still in it.
You see a little bit of spark plug damage.
Oh man, Doug going on the wrong side of the screen. I didn't see that coming. But what a great side-by-side run.
But I'm not sure how much of that is normal. All right, so we got Austin here getting some pistons ready. He was telling me they put a fresh set in every run. May not be a brand new set, but at least a set that they know what it is. Then they can inspect the ones that are coming out of the engine when there's not so much pressure to get the engine turned around to get it ready for the next round. That seem about right?
Yeah, we build the certain heights depending on compression height, each rod and piston, and then we will measure them, the deck height in the motor, and then I give that data back to Mike, and he pushes some buttons on a computer and we let her go.
Cool. Cool. Well, they're getting her turned around with the expectation we're getting a second qualifying shot. See if we can go a little quicker next round. So here's the rocker arm complete assembly. Pretty sure this is exhaust and those are the intake rockers. So you can see it pivots on this huge shaft. Head gasket all looks good. And one thing that's kind of unique about these things is they actually have different thickness head gaskets in the trailer to be able to tailor the compression to add or remove power from the engine. Like if the air is really good like it is now, they'll pull the heads off, put a thicker set of head gaskets in it to take some compression out of the engine. It's just what they got to do to keep the engine happy, because I mean the air is really, really good right now. They actually did that this morning before I got here and started videoing the startup. So another set of pistons going in, clutch is already in. Still not sure if we're getting a second qualifying shot, but we are in the show right now. But if we get a second qualifying shot, we could get bumped out. We just never know. So let's get back at it and we'll see what all is going to happen here. There goes another pair. And my shop is 7 miles from here. On a calm day, we can hear like if a top fuel car is at the racetrack testing. That's how loud these things are. They actually register on a seismograph at the University of Florida. That's even farther away, but it registers on the seismograph when a pair makes a run. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Things have changed up a little bit. They're only doing one round of qualifying, which means Clay's in.
We're in.
Yes. And it's getting really cold, so we're getting ready to get out of here and go home and sit in something warm, which you got to go back over to your toter.
Yep.
Hang out with your wife, your dogs.
Yep, exactly. Turn the heat on.
Turn the heat on.
And celebrate that that ugly run got us in.
Hey, I know you weren't real happy with it, but
Hey, it was exciting.
it got you in the show.
It was exciting. Shake, wheelies,
Yeah.
boomer.
Well, so Drew videoed it from the stands. I'm curious to see how that looks,
Yeah,
like
me
with
too.
with our handheld camera. So if it's something I can email, I'll email it to you.
Yeah.
So, or we can, we'll figure out something, because it'll be on an SD card. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's gonna wrap it up for this video. See you guys back tomorrow for eliminations, where we're going to the finals.
I like his way of thinking.
Hey.
Number 15 spot, we could go to the finals. We did it from 13 a couple weeks ago.
Like everybody's like clean slate tomorrow. Like the weather, y'all are gonna do the best job tuning of anybody out here, and we're gonna go to the finals.
Exactly.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
See ya.